Joseph Pine Armone, also known as Shorty, September 13, 1917, February 23, 1992, was a gangster in the Gambino crime family who served as underboss. Biography. Background: born on the Upper East Side, Manhattan, Armone earned his nickname, Pine, in the 1930s by extorting money from Christmas tree vendors. He was the younger brother of mobster Stephen Armone, an early member of the Mangano crime family, forerunner of the Gambino family. Armone married Josephine DiQuoto and was the father of 2 children. Josephine is a relative of Genovese crime family capo Dominic DiQuoto. He is an uncle to Gambino crime family capo Joseph, Joey the Blonde Giordano. A devoted family man, Joseph Armone stayed away from mistresses and often took his wife out for dinner. Armone and his family lived in Brooklyn. Armone wore thick glasses and had an arthritic limp in his leg from an ancient gunshot wound. Armone rarely cursed. His speech, while not grammatical, had a high-flown formality once described as mob Shakespearean. He believed in omerta, the Cosa Nostra code of silence, was straightforward and direct, and highly trusted in mob circles. Armone was also respectful and polite to any Federal Bureau of Investigation (FBI) agents he encountered. Armone's arrest record included robbery, felonious assault, homicide, and narcotics violations. Early criminal career: Armone followed his brother into the Mangano family. By the time Albert, Mad Hatter, and Anastasia took over the Mangano family, he had become one of the family's major earners. In 1957, underboss Joseph Biondo allegedly picked Armone and 2 other family mobsters to kill Anastasia. However, before the attack could take place, Armone was arrested on a narcotics charge and sent to jail. Biondo allegedly replaced Armone with his brother Stephen, and the hitman killed Anastasia. However, other accounts suggest that Profaci crime family capo Joe Gallo and his crew members were responsible for the Anastasia murder. In 1964, Armone survived an assassination attempt. Armone was in a Manhattan bar when a gunman shot him 5 times at point-blank range. On October 1, 1964, Armone and 11 other mobsters were indicted in what became the French Connection case. They were accused of transporting $20 million worth of heroin from 1956 to 1965 from France to the U.S. using sailors, businessmen, and a diplomat as drug couriers. During the trial, one of the jurors was approached outside the courthouse by Patricia D'Alessandro, a former Playboy bunny and a friend of Armone. D'Alessandro tried to bribe the juror, but he reported the incident to law enforcement. D'Alessandro was later convicted of bribery and sentenced to 5 years in prison. On June 22, 1965, Armone was convicted of the French Connection charges. In July 1965, Armone was sentenced to 15 years in prison. After serving 10 years in prison, Armone was released. When mobster Paul Castellano became family boss, he promoted Armone to caporegime. Mob author and journalist Jerry K. Pesci would cite Armone's success as an example of the American Mafia disregarding its official ban of dealing drugs. Gotti era: in 1985, Armone was recruited by Capo John Gotti into a conspiracy to kill Castellano. Gotti already had the support of Capo Frank DeSico and soldiers Sammy Gravano and Robert DiBernardo, but lining up the support of Armone was a critical step in the conspiracy. As a respected old-timer in the Gambino family, Armone would offer more credibility to the new regime and placate Castellano's supporters. For his part, Armone had a dim view of Castellano as a gangster and saw Gotti's coup as a final chance to rise to a leadership role in the family. That chance came in April 1986, when Gotti's original underboss, Frank DeSico, was blown up by a remote control bomb. Gotti then appointed Armone as his new underboss and sent him to Florida to supervise Gambino activities there. On December 22, 1987, Armone was convicted in New York on charges of racketeering conspiracy involving extortion, bribery and illegal interstate travel to commit bribery. The bribery charge involved a plot from 1981 to 1982 to bribe a government official $20,000 to transfer the son of Gambino consigliere Joseph N. Gallo from a New York state prison to a federal prison. Gallo was also convicted in the trial. Under federal sentencing guidelines, any sentence imposed on Gallo and Armone would amount to a life sentence at their ages. With this in mind, the judge released Gallo on bail before sentencing, effectively giving him a final Christmas with his family. Armone was offered a similar temporary release, but only on the condition that he publicly admit his role in the family and renounce his ties to it. Gotti, however, had banned Gambino members from taking plea deals that acknowledged the existence of the family and refused Armone an exception. On February 22, 1988, Armone was sentenced to 15 years in federal prison and was fined $820,000. On September 24, 1988, in a separate case, Armone was convicted in Florida of extortion, loan sharking, and racketeering in Broward County. Death on February 23, 1992, Armone died in prison of natural causes. He was buried in the Cemetery of the Resurrection in Staten Island, New York. In popular culture, in the 2001 television movie Boss of Bosses, Joe Armone is portrayed as Pine Armone by actor Mark Margolis. Armone is portrayed by Dominic Giannese in the 1996 TV film Gotti. References: Capisi, Jerry, Mustang, Gene, 1996. Gotti, Rise and Fall. New York, Onyx. ISBN 0-451-40681-8. Rob Selwyn, 2005. Five Families: The Rise, Decline and Resurgence of America's Most Powerful Mafia Empires, 2006 ed. New York, Thomas Dunn Books. ISBN 978-0-312-361-815. Further reading: O'Brien, Joseph F., and Curans, Andres, Boss of Bosses, The Fall of the Godfather, The FBI and Paul Castellano, Pocket Books, 1993. ISBN 0-671-71541-0.